Listen to this. This will blow your mind. Arsenal in 2022-23 have played 9. They have won 8. They have drawn none. They have lost merely 1. They have scored 23 goals and they have conceded a meagre 10. Regardless of how diligently or how keenly you follow football, I refuse to believe that anybody could have predicted this after their shattering collapse at the end of last season. What Mikel Arteta has done to that team is nothing short of a revolution. Arsenal are back to the top of the Premier League after a pulsating, thrilling clash at the Emirates. It really was a true delectable medley of footballing splendour, and it was a statement victory from Arsenal. Surely that is the best victory, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm going on record and saying that that is the best victory of Mikel Arteta's entire managerial career. Never has he delivered on such a huge stage, in such difficult circumstances, in such a pressurised fixture against such a very good team. That is Mikel Arteta's best moment. I think that is up there in the Premier League, obviously not winning the cup. In the Premier League, that is the best that he has ever done. They outlasted Liverpool. And Liverpool, by the way, people are going to, go extreme on this with the reaction. But I think Liverpool contributed enormously to that fixture. I think it was a brilliant match. Liverpool ultimately ran out of steam, whereas Arsenal, they went from strength to strength. And that is a testament to Mikel Arteta. This is such a young team, but it is such a vibrant, clever, dynamic team. And make no mistake about it, they can win the Premier League. I feel like I always have to qualify this by saying they aren't my tip. I understand Man City are the favourites, but you cannot write off a team who are top of the league when you are over a quarter of the way through the season. They are top of the Premier League for a reason. They've been beaten only once, and it is time to start seeing them as true title challengers. Bukayo Saka is going to get the headlines, score 2 goals, including the winner. Good penalty, I thought, by the way. Really solid penalty from him. But I feel like people are going to talk about him. But for me, you could talk about Jesus being magnificent, but you could do that every week. You could talk about Odegaard, but again, you could kind of do that every week as well. Do you know who I think we need to focus on? Gabriel Martinelli. An exhilarating performance from him. Tireless, hard, game, up for it. He really is a sensational player. Saka, though, got the first after a minute. Potentially offside, maybe. Martinelli did. And then obviously, Saka got the goals after that. And that was huge. Alexander-Arnold maybe made a mistake. Joe Gomez maybe made a mistake. But overall, I don't really want to focus on that. I want to focus on that brilliant game. I mean, Liverpool, I thought they played well, I don't think that's going to be the headline. I think we're going to be hearing a 10th in the league. And, we're going to come on to talk about that in this video. But overall, I thought that Liverpool, they played really well. But Arsenal, flaky old Arsenal, bottling old Arsenal, Arsenal who can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, was simply too strong for Klopp's Liverpool in that second half. I mean, Klopp's side were tough today. They were up for the fight. They were relentless. They were going for the jugular themselves. But for large portions of the game, they were outclassed and they were outplayed. And that is why the size of this victory cannot be overstated. Martinelli, Saka, true heroes. But the performances don't stop there. The performances are all round. I mean, Arsenal are now back to the top of the Premier League. The momentum is growing. Their incredible start to the season continues. And today they showed a maturity that you don't necessarily associate with Arsenal. You also don't associate it with this Arsenal because they're not mature. They're young. And therefore, you wouldn't expect them to show such a firm level of maturity. It was a young team, but a young team that managed to control the game for huge portions. And yes, Liverpool chronically out of form, but they're still Liverpool. And not only are we seeing a maturity in the players, but we're seeing a maturity in Arteta. He's getting it right. He's getting the team selection right. He's getting the recruitment right. He's developing into a fine manager. There is no doubt about it. And, the small tweaks that you see from a clever manager, a manager who's learning. I think you could say that Mikel Arteta is still learning on the job. He's still a young manager perfecting his craft. And ultimately, Arsenal will reap the rewards of the manager that Mikel Arteta is going to be in another year and another year after that or whatever. but therefore mistakes will be made. And that's true about all young managers. Mistakes will be made. And maybe you could make a case that Mikel Arteta made a mistake earlier in the season when they lost to Manchester United. He learned from that. That triple substitution at Old Trafford didn't work. Today, I thought it was clever. Just getting those small things right. Wasting those precious few seconds towards the end of the game. By bringing on, they brought on Vieira. Remember, they took Saka off. Just take the sting out of the game. Clever management. Switched on management. And I rate it. I think Martinelli was basically unplayable today. So much so that I think it was Joe Gomez who just got the hump. You see it? Just launch him off the pitch, which I thought was poor, by the way. Nobody seems to really be talking about that, but I didn't really think that was cricket. But Martinelli, just the running at defenders. It's such a brilliant skill and people don't seem to do it anymore. Just run at defenders, particularly when you're as pacey as Martinelli and as comfortable on the ball as Martinelli. I mean, last season, Martinelli was doing it and he was very impressive. But this season, I feel like he's taken it to a whole new level. He's that kind of player that makes things happen. How on earth did he fail a trial at Manchester United in 2017, by the way? That just doesn't make any sense to me. But Martinelli's pace, combined with the dribbling at speed and the way that he can manoeuvre in tight quarters, he provides the thrust and incision for Arsenal's attacks. Very difficult to defend against a player like that. He's probably, let me think about this, probably the best dribbler in the league. Does anyone carry the ball as potently and as directly as Gabriel Martinelli in the league? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. And he's developing. I think he's 21 years old. And the decision-making is improving. He's a player. When he scored that goal at Stamford Bridge, do you remember when Kante slipped and he scored that goal? And Arsenal fans were raving. I thought, okay, calm down. He's done what John Spencer did against Austria Vienna in 1995. It's a good goal, but it's a huge goal and huge development, and he really is a player. For Liverpool, look, Liverpool are 10th, and they are 14 points behind Arsenal. Can you believe that? Can you imagine saying that at the end of last season when Liverpool nearly won a quadruple and Arsenal pitifully didn't qualify for the European Cup? 14 points. I mean, I don't know how Liverpool fans are feeling about this, but today, even if there is panic setting in, even if there is concern, I feel like today they played well. And there were some really good moments. I thought Bobby Firmino's goal, I rate him so highly. I feel like people forget just how good he is. People seem to say, Nunez and Diaz, and they seem to forget the player that Roberto Firmino is. I mean, that goal that he scored, yes, it was completely against the line of play, but it was a brilliantly worked goal. I thought Jota playing that clever ball through when he was marked as well. He managed to slip it through. And, I mean, Firmino into the path, one touch, takes it out his feet, takes it wide, into the side netting, left foot wallop. Excellent goal. And I wonder if we've seen the seeds of... Liverpool look better today. I know they've been beaten, but they looked all right today, didn't they? In various parts of the game, they looked all right. It's just a defence. Trent Alexander-Arnold will come into the headlines again, and it is becoming a problem. But today isn't about that. Today is about Arsenal. And if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, can you just do me one favour? Accept that you can win the league. Far too calm, far too modest. Accept that you can win a league and start singing it at the stadium. Huge day, huge game of football, huge result for Arsenal, and full credit to Mikel Arteta. What a game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, do me the honour, please click subscribe. It would be my honour to welcome you into this community. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to be looking in the comments now. What a game of football. In a bit, yo.